Hi, everyone. I'm Ellis Reyes. Welcome to the sixth grade tech block curriculum presentation. Quick back there. Here we go. So as a matter of personal and professional practice, I try not to read off of the screen only to augment what you guys see. So you guys can all read what's there and I'll fill in some background information along the way. So I've been teaching in the Mercer Island School District for a long time. I raised my kids here. They both went through our school system, and my daughter graduated this most recent summer in the class of 2020, and she's off in college right now. This is my 8th year at IMS, and I teach a variety of classes. Most of them are technology related, but some of them are not. I teach also a writing class, and I've taught math in the past and several other classes. I really like teaching on the tech side of things because as I wrote in the note up there, there's a binary nature about it. Either things work or they don't work. Then you troubleshoot to figure out why they don't work. And in the programming classes I teach, that's sort of a mindset that I try to teach my students to think about, is that when you attempt to program something on the screen and the result isn't what you're getting at, it's most often user error, so you have to go back through your code and sort it out. Okay, so class organization. Every week, just like in all of the other classes that your students have, I will post a week in a glance document. It will be in the current week's folder on Schoology, and you'll know that it's the current folder, and I teach the students this because it will be at the top of the stack and it will be the brightly colored folder. So it'll be orange or red, and the previous weeks will be grayed out. And let's see. Oh, and also the link to the Zoom meeting is also at the top of the materials folder. And that's where I will keep all of the content for the week, is in the current week's materials folder. That's our organizational place for this class. The overview. So there are 3 elements for this class. There are tools, skills, and digital citizenship. And the tools section, we will look at and engage with some of the applications and the processes that the kids will use both at IMS and going forward in high school and in their lives beyond that. And that includes the Google suite of materials, so forms and docs and sheets, and the Microsoft equivalents, Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, and how to perform basic functions with all of those things, and how to structure school materials on all of those apps. We'll also dig a little bit deeper into how to do a little bit more sophisticated searching on Google. So how to refine your results so that if you're looking for something, you don't have 10 billion results, but you narrow it to a set of results that are a little bit more specific. In the skills section, we'll be working with things like keyboarding and camera proficiency. I think you've seen that a couple of times in the camera lessons that we've done early this year, where they're learning about angles and learning how to capture particular shots with the camera. And that ties into some of the other classes that I teach here, like the media tech class, where they tell stories with technology and they need to use various camera shots and camera angles to enhance the stories that we're telling. We will also do a little bit of programming in this class. This class isn't designed to be programming heavy, but I do build in a familiarization with some programming so that if the students want to continue along that path, I teach a couple of classes for 7th and 8th graders that are strictly programming classes. And if your kids have had programming in the past through summer camp or after school activities or at-home experiences, then this is a place where they can continue to review or build on the knowledge that they already have. And finally, the third component is digital citizenship, how to be legal, ethical, and safe online. And we'll talk about personal privacy protections, things like developing and managing secure passwords, not sharing personal information, cyberbullying, how to respect ownership of digitally created material or material that was posted online by someone else that doesn't belong to them. How do we respect their wishes with respect to use of material that someone else created, and how do we properly cite that, or how do we not use it if no permission at all is given to use someone else's materials? So those are the three guiding elements of this class. In our synchronous days, when we are in class together on Zoom, or hopefully in the not too distant future in person, we'll do some direct instruction for class. I will teach a piece of course content, and then the students will have opportunities to apply what we've learned in class, either individually or this week. We are going to take steps into group work, and we'll see how that works out. And then they may have classwork, then they'll have some classwork, and they may have some homework that day also. There will always be expectations for them on the asynchronous days, on the days where we're not meeting on Zoom. They will have things to do. Either it will be a continuation from what we've done in our synchronous class, or it will be something that is an extension or in addition to what we're doing in class, or something that they're doing in preparation for our subsequent synchronous class, our subsequent Zoom meeting. Asynchronous days, as I just mentioned, they will always have something assigned on an asynchronous day. And as I said, it may be an extension of class, it may be homework that I assigned that they have that afternoon and the next day to do, or it may be something that they need to do in preparation for a following class day or something later on that week. We will have periodic assessments in the class to check understanding, just like if they were in person, and they'll take two forms. Number one, just a straight content quiz. So for example, if we're doing a lesson on copyright, that we will ask questions about what is copyright, how long does it last, what does it protect, what are some of the things you can and cannot do, how do you properly cite someone else's work, all of those things to respect creations that other people have made. And we'll also have projects to do that help students demonstrate what they have learned in class by applying that knowledge in a new way. So let's take these three things that you've learned and let's do something with it. And I usually like to allow them to use use the tools with material that they are already interested in or passionate about. So for example, when we're doing a presentation assignment right now, and they're allowed to present on a subject that is personally interesting to them or something that they care a lot about, because those presentations are more interesting than ones that teachers assign the content as well. Do a presentation on ducks. Well, not everybody might be interested in ducks. So you're going to get a variety of enthusiasm about that. Grading. The grading in this class will be on a standard 100-point scale. They'll get a set amount of points for each assignment, and they'll get however many points they get for that assignment, and that will be the grade that they get. There will be opportunities for extra credit, so it is entirely possible for students to earn more than 100% of the grades for this class. Happens all the time. And grades will be posted weekly. I'm in the process of doing grades on Skyward right now. So you'll start seeing the grades fill out for that on a weekly basis. And okay, so I have 2 sets of office hours every day. My asynchronous office hours are 12:45 to 1:15. So if the students fire me a Schoology message or send me an email during that half-hour window on any day, Monday through Friday, I will get back to them usually within 5 minutes of getting it. If they need to meet with me via Zoom during that window, I'm happy to open up a Zoom call and chat with them during that time as well. And then in the afternoon, a little bit later, I have drop-in Zoom office hours every day, Monday through Friday, from 2:30 to 3, where I have an open Zoom call and they can drop in. And the links for that Zoom meeting are in the Week at a Glance every single week. That link does not change, so they can drop in anytime during that half-hour window to get support or ask questions or whatever they need. If you have any questions about class or how your student is doing or anything, best way to contact me is via email, ellis.reyes@mercerislandschools.org. And if I have a concern or a question about your student, email will be my first approach. And I will probably also CC your student's counselor so that they are brought into the conversation as well. Usually that resolves it, but if we need to dig a little bit deeper, then I will either arrange a phone call, or these days we can have a Zoom meeting and just talk about it that way. If you have any questions about this curriculum presentation, here is a link to a Google form. Please fill that out, fire me off any questions. I will be happy to respond within a day or two. Thank you so much for taking a moment or two to attend this awkward, kind of unusual curriculum night presentation. And I do hope that I get the opportunity to meet all of you before the end of the trimester and your students move on to their next class. You guys take care, and hope to meet you pretty soon.